this will officially be our project with the most steps ever. So make sure your listening ears are on. We are going to be collecting some papers, lots of different sizes. We'll have a large sheet, a medium sheet, a small sheet, a paper for our eye color, and a paper for the white part of our eyes. So when you gather your papers, you're going to head to your table spot, and you're going to find lots of tracers. It does not matter what tracer you start with. So share with your friends at your table. The small sheet is for the neck. If the neck tracer does not fit perfectly on there, like it's leaning off the edge on the side, not a big deal. All I'm really concerned about is tracing on those curved lines, and that's it. So I'm going to set that to the side. I'm done with the neck. Alright, the head is traced, the neck is traced, arms. I'm going to need 2 arms for this project because I have 2 arms. So I'm going to fold this paper long and skinny to fit this arm tracer. So I'm lining it up as best as I can, and I'm going to trace this entire long arm. The fingers are a little bit tricky, so I'm just going to use my pointer finger here to kind of push them down as I'm tracing. All the way around. So we are going to be cutting everything out today except our arms. Our arms are going to be like our folder where we put all of our papers inside. So I'm going to write my name on the side. Not on the top. I'm not giving myself a tattoo, but I'm writing it on the side that I know I'm going to cut out. The eyes. I have white paper that I'm going to fold in half so I can trace this eye tracer and cut it out and get 2. The colored part of the eye. I'm going to fold that in 2, or in half, and I'm going to draw a circle that's going to fit inside that eye. So it's going to be about the size of a quarter. So these are all folded in half so I can cut out 2. So I know you know how to cut, so I'm going to go ahead and cut and come right back. Alright, everything is cut out except the arms. We're not cutting the arms today. So I'm ready to glue the neck to the head. Now, this has a little trick to it. The shape is not the same on the top and the bottom. The chin kind of comes to more of a point. It's narrower, where the top of the head is a little wider. So I'm going to glue the neck on to the bottom part by the chin, and I'm going to slide that neck piece up to about the ears. So that means I'm going to put glue on about half of the neck. There it is. So I'd say it's in line at the bottom of the ears. So that's the back. I don't want my eyes on that. It looks icky. So I'm going to flip it over. The eyes. We just spent some time on the Smartboard talking about where our eyes are. They're not on our forehead. You need to slide them down a little bit so they're in line with the ears. I also want to make sure I have a space between my eyes because our nose is in between our eyes. Oops, got a little bit of glue on there. I cut out my circles. Let's see. Ooh, they're a little bit too big. So I'm going to keep them together and I'm going to trim them together so that they're the same size. Yep, that looks good. So I'm going to put a little glue on the backs of those. Little bit of glue. And now I am ready to start to draw the nose and mouth. So I am ready to add nose, eyes, mouth, and all the details of the face. So we spent a little bit of time talking about that middle area in the eye called the pupil. And we learned that our eyes are in the middle of our head, right by the ears. So the next thing I'm going to make is the nose. And the nose is between the eye and the chin. So if I take a finger and go on the eyes and a finger on the chin and I slide them together, the bottom of the nose is going to be about right there. So I'm going to mark just a little line so I know where to put that. And the middle of the lips is going to be from the bottom of the nose to the chin. And I'm going to make a little line. So this sheet will help you with some different nose shapes. So I know I definitely want the bottom to be on that line I made. And, oh, I got a little bump there. It could be as simple as just a rounded bottom of the nose. If you want to make it a little more detailed, you can. Nose is hard because we really don't have an outline around it. It's just skin and our bones underneath it. So I'm just going to add a couple lines there. The lips. Middle of the lips are going to be here. The end of the lips, tricky business, I'm going to go from that center pupil of the eye. And I'm going to kind of draw a line with my pencil really lightly. And I know the end of the lips should be about right there on that side. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So my lips are going to be that big. Seems huge, but when we make the top of the lips, that edge is so tiny and little, and it kind of bumps up and up. 2 bumps at the top, and a fairly nice, small, rounded, curved line at the bottom. Last thing I'm going to draw with pencil are the eyebrows. Just kind of a little bit of a curved line. When you are ready for color, I would not use black and outline all this stuff, because we don't have black outlines around our lips and eyes and all that good stuff. I'm going to add black for the middle of the eyes. I know that my eyes are not this like perfect blue color of the paper, so I'm making some lines coming out from that pupil to give the colored part, that iris of my eye, a little more color. I have some brownish blonde hair, so I'm going to add my eyebrows, just kind of lightly covering them with some color. I'm going to make them brown, maybe a little bit of yellow. Ignore that bell. When it comes to the nose, I am going to use a peach or a tan or even a light brown. And I am barely touching this paper, just a little tickle to get a little bit of color around there so I don't see the pencil line. When it comes to lips, kids oftentimes like to use red or hot pink. So I'm actually going to use a light pink. And boys, even you would have a lighter pink color, but you might want to put an orange or a peach on top of it because our lips really are not that bright in a color. Maybe I'll use a little bit of red if I can find one here. I'm not seeing one. I was going to use a little bit of red to kind of go over those pencil spots to kind of hide them a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. At this point, you want to add anything that makes you unique. For me, I have some freckles. If you have glasses, Mrs. Cleary can help you draw those on. If you have a special mark or a mole or a scar, add that, and that will help your family pick out who you are when they come to your classroom. Putting this all together. So once you have all of your supplies and you have everything finished on your face, you can do some cutting. So we're going to cut out the hair, we're going to cut out the arms, and you're going to have to get a shirt pattern. So, shirt pattern. This is a little confusing for kids, but we actually are going to cut 2 pieces of a shirt so that we kind of have a sandwich to cover the front and to cover the back. And if that doesn't make sense to you right now, that's okay. Just remember that for the shirt, you want to have 2 pieces of the same color of paper, and I'm going to sandwich them together. I'm going to put my tracer on top of one of them, and I am going to trace around this shirt pattern. Some of the shirts have a curved collar. Some of them have more of a pointed V-neck. When I cut these shirts out, I'm going to cut both of the orange pieces at the same time so that I don't have to do as much work. So when I come back, the shirt will be cut out, the hair, and the arms. I am just finishing up doing all my cutting, and I wanted to show this trick that I've learned when you're cutting out the arms. So I've cut out the sides, and I'm to the top where the fingers are. I like to just round off the top curve, and then it's fairly easy to go in between all the fingers with some quick cuts. That will help so that you don't end up with super skinny toothpick shaped fingers. After I have these hands cut out, I am going to start to put it all together. So to begin, I'm going to take one of the shirts and get rid of those little scraps. So one of my shirts, I've got them both cut out here. I am going to glue the head on first. So when I glue the head on, make sure my glue is working here, it's a little bit dried. I am going to put glue on the bottom of the neck. And there's quite a bit of glue because I want that neck to sit down in the shirt. I don't want the neck to be way up tall. Now I'm ready to glue the arms on. I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the top of each shirt sleeve. And when you are standing up with your arms down, your thumb faces in. So I'm going to have this arm sit here, and it's hard to see in the video, but the thumb is facing in. Now I am going to cover this top part with glue, not gobs, but just a little bit everywhere, because I'm going to put the other orange shirt on here to cover up the neck and the arms. So it's kind of like a sandwich. The top piece of bread is on top to cover up the mess. The hair has probably been the trickiest for kids. Each of you, no matter if you're a boy or a girl, will have 4 pieces of hair. You'll have the front bangs, the front sides, and the back. I am going to glue the back first. So I'm going to flip my project over, and I'm going to put glue on the back of the head. So boys, yours will be shorter. Girls, some of you will have a shorter piece or medium length hair. Some of you will have long hair. So mine is a little shorter because my hair is short, and you can actually see my neck when my hair is down. So I'm putting the back on. I'm going to flip it over. Looking silly so far. These other pieces, I'm going to glue the sides on first. So I can kind of see some of my crayon and pencil lines. I'm going to try to have that be the back. The skinny little hook is going to be at the top. Skinny little hook is going to be at the top. I'm going to slide these pieces down so that they touch the bottom of the back piece. I'm going to put some glue just on that tiny hook, and I am going to line it up down there, and I'm going to put it on my paper. Tiny little hook, get some glue, and I'm going to put it on so it's just gluing right up there on my forehead. Now I have the top part. This also is hiding the mess. So I'm going to glue on the back of this. And almost always, an adult can help you with the trimming of the hair because the pieces don't line up perfect. So if you're in your classroom or if you're in the art room, have an adult kind of just help you trim the top so that your hair kind of curves and you don't see any ends sticking out. That is the end of putting it together. The very, very end, final detail part. Most of you do not have this perfect colored paper hair, so you might want to add some different colors in there. So for me, I might add some browns. I know I have a little bit of red in my hair. Could be an orangey color. Maybe I use an actual red. So just in that one spot, you can see already that it's starting to look more like my hair color. So for some of you, that might be adding black, that might be adding yellow. Then you can add decorations to your shirt. If it's something you like, if it's something you have on a shirt, it could be words, It could be pictures. I feel like if I write art, most people are going to know it's the art teacher, right? But yours can be just a shirt you have or something else you like. I would take a little time and make this an awesome decoration on your shirt. Add a lot of color and detail. You could have stripes or patterns. Just have fun with it. When you're done, ask your teacher where it needs to go.